Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jordie James and I'm a psychic medium, and thank you for tuning in for the next 15 minutes. I have you in my hot little hands. So, interesting, what I was going to talk about today was messages, and really interesting because I do 3-card readings every week for I have got beautiful clients that subscribe once like a month, and they get one every week. And it was really interesting because the card that kept coming up was messages and like the raven. And it's really interesting because I know coming up we've got, oh my God, 16 more sleeps, and like for over here anyway, 16, I think over in the States it's 17. But it's crazy that Christmas is like around the corner, and I'm just going, oh my God, I have not done anything. And Christmas is at my house. So I kept hearing messages to breathe and focus on one thing at a time and write down what I need to do for Christmas. So for me, the message was quite clear that I just need to make sure that I focus on one thing at a time and not 1,000 things, which is what I normally do. So for you, it might be a case of focus on the good, not the bad, focus on the silver lining, focus on the sunshine on a rainy day. It could be a lot of different things that you might automatically just hear in your head, or you might see a constant phrase, or you might see numbers. It might be 111, 222. The messages of our loved ones and our beautiful angels and spirit guides are always there. We just need to look for them. Now, it's really interesting with the way that I teach. I sort of get people to just notice the synchronicities, notice the things that keep coming up. It might be 777, it might be 711, but just notice them and go, okay, why am I seeing this? Because spirit guides, our loved ones, will get to a point where it will be like a hammer, like one of those big blow-up hammers to the head going, listen to the message, listen to the message, listen to the message. And you're just going, what message? Because we are so focused on the physical time that we might be so busy in our lives that we don't see those little messages. So it's really important to breathe and go, okay, this is what I'm asking, and just breathe and let go. So messages can be quite subtle. They can be as subtle as a sledgehammer sometimes, but realistically, we need to know that we are always looked after. We are always there. And to my belief and my understanding, we have these beautiful, it doesn't matter your faith, your religion, we always have those beautiful messages, and in prayer and just in meditation. So just allow yourself to see it and breathe and know that you're worthy of getting those messages. All right. So as I look at my next client, so I hope that makes sense, everyone. I've actually got my cards in my hand, but I am not going to use them today because I believe that was what I needed to tell you. But the other thing too, thank you. The reason why I wanted to show you the cards is that messages come through the cards as well. And I always tell my students, and even just clients, that if you pull a card a day, you might get a message within that card that it may relate to you, but it may relate to someone that might be throughout your day. You might just give that little bit of a love heart to that person. So I hope that makes sense to everyone. So I have a beautiful Amanda from Lowell. Hi, Amanda. How are you going?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Good. Oh my God, I love your accent. Sorry. I'm an accent freak, so I absolutely, sorry to apologize, but I absolutely love your accent. So Amanda, did you want me to go psychic or mediumship for you today, darling?
Well, I'm honestly not really sure. I don't.
Okay.
I'm just kind of lost, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So kind of in a dark place.
So with what's going on around you, okay, let's go a little bit into information about you now, which is psychic. So you've obviously had readings before, though, haven't you, Amanda?
A while back, I did. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Oh my God. Okay. Sorry. As I'm connecting to your energy, I just want to say you've got this beautiful fairy-like energy around you. And as I connect with you, I know that you're quite intuitive. You've got this beautiful connection. Just you sometimes know stuff, but you don't trust with what you receive. Would that make sense to you?
Mhm. Yes,
Thank you.
absolutely.
And it's funny because I was just talking about messages as my little intro, and you're probably a classic, beautiful candidate for this because it's like I want to say the messages can be loud and clear, but you're not seeing them because you're so in the physical mind. Does that make sense? So it's like you're overthinking sometimes.
Yes, I
Thank
agree with
you.
that.
Thank you. And I want to say, I feel like I want to say, you're, it's when you said you're a little bit lost. It's not that you're lost, you're just navigating a new, thank you, a new route for yourself. It's like I want to say, you're navigating to the next phase of you. And then sometimes when we do feel like we're a little bit out of our comfort zone or a little bit lost or a little bit too up to our necks in water or in sort of quicksand, that's the best time for us to sort of go, okay, I know there's something new coming up, but I don't know what it is. I'm not lost. I just know that I'm in this next sort of phase of being very open to something new. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, see, my issue is I'm only 28, but I have a
Yeah.
lot of health issues that prevent me from being the best person I want to be, if that makes sense. So that's kind of
Yes.
what I'm
So
struggling with.
yeah. So, and this is where I want to go. When it's funny because they're just showing me a beautiful oracle card called Rock Bottom. But what's really interesting is when we hit rock bottom or when we feel like we don't have the belief in ourselves, and that's this time that we actually do have, and we need to just sort of shift perception a little bit of what we're receiving. So, for you, darling,
Hmm.
what's really interesting is there's a lot of new beginnings coming up for you. The first thing I keep hearing is about work. And are you struggling between going, like doing work and going back to study? Does that make sense to you?
Kind of,
Thank you. Because it's like I want to say you've got a little bit, oh, I don't know if I'm worthy of doing this. Does that make sense?
yes.
Like that belief system, and I know you were talking about belief before, but I just feel like I want to go, there is you, it's you are supposed to be doing what you're meant to be doing. And I feel like I want to acknowledge study. Sorry, that sounded like a really weird way of saying it. But I feel like you've wanted to do something for so long and your heart's going yes, but you just don't know if you've got the energy or you've got the worth or you've got the knowledge to do it. But realistically, when you go into this study, it's going to, you'll know more than what you think you know. It's like, you know, when we go and do study and you go, hang on a second, I've done this before. I know what I'm talking, I know this stuff, but it's only you on a physical level learning it, but realistically, spiritually, you know. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. And you've got this beautiful spiritual energy around you as well. I feel like I want to go, you could read oracle cards quite easily. You've got this gorgeous energy of a healer. Does that make sense to you?
Mhm.
Because everyone comes to you for guidance. Does that make sense? It's like, oh, Amanda will help me out with this,
Yes.
or Amanda will do this for me, and oh, I just want to come over for coffee, and they end up having coffee and sort of leaving all their story on the bench for you, and then as they walk out, you just go, well, they didn't even listen to my story because I've done everything for them. Does that make sense?
100%.
Thank you, darling. And oh my God, I just want to hug you. You're just so cute. I love your energy. So as I connect with you a little bit more, I want to say the only reason why you're feeling a little bit the way you are at the moment is because you're going into new boundaries and new beginnings and you're just going, oh, I don't know if I'm going to push myself out there or not. And it's just having that, it's like you're on that next step and being 28, which sort of goes into a one, it's all about new beginnings. So we don't know where our feet are. Sometimes we might feel like the ground's a little bit uneasy around us, but the ground is quite solid for you. So I want you to trust with what you see. Does that make sense?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome, darling. Also, just quickly, do you work? Yes?
Right now I'm just babysitting, so
Okay.
yes, no,
So,
kind of.
okay. So it's all about what work is going to sustain you to go into your next phase of your career. And I do want to say career because it's something about you being in a heart space and being that healer and being that guidance counselor and being that person that will help even people. It's like I want to say you're teetering on whether or not to do something that something wasn't there for you in your younger years, that you want to be there for youth or young sort of adults. And it's just, that's where I see you going. So it's all about going back into study and going, oh, I don't know if I'm worthy of this. You are, honey. I feel like you need to do this because you're one of those beautiful light workers and beautiful healers that needs to be out there. So can I leave that with you, darling?
Yes, I actually graduated college a few years ago to be in nursing. So I do have the degree. I just never went into it.
I just feel like there's extra healing doing for you. So that doesn't make any English sense at all. Welcome to Jordieisms, as my students call them. But I just feel like I want to go use that nursing ability that you've already got and go into something a little bit more that you want to move into. Does that make sense? It's more of a heart space, but I know healing's a major part of you. All right, darling, I've got to go. Thank you so much for allowing me to connect with you. You're absolutely gorgeous. And if you'd like to connect with me on my Facebook page, Jordie Jane Psychic Medium. Website's not up. And blessings and hugs, everyone. Have a great week. And I will chat to you next week. Bye for now.